Before we get started, I just wanted to encourage you to set up next to a wall if you can. If you can't set up next to a wall, then grab a chair, set up next to your bed or a couch, or if none of those are available to you, then grab a cushion or grab a stack of pillows or blocks or something like that that you can prop your hips up on for our final pose, which will be legs up the wall. Okay, let's get started. For this one, we're going to start on the floor, so join me on the floor in the middle of your mat, lying down with your knees bent and the soles of your feet flat on the floor. Your palms are facing down. Once you're comfortable and settled in, I invite you to close your eyes. And bring your attention to your breath. On your next inhale, arch your lower back so that you're tilting your pelvis forward. Then as you exhale, round your lower back, but try not to turn this into a crunch, so still remain relaxed in your midsection. Inhale to arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Continue rocking back and forth at your own pace. Come back to a neutral spine. Bring your attention to your pelvic floor. What do you notice here? What sensations arise? When you're ready, roll over onto your side. Then slowly press yourself up. With your legs straight out in front of you, hands by your hips. Then bend your right knee. Bring the sole of your right foot to the inside of your left thigh and allow your right knee to fall down towards the mat. Don't worry about how close or how far it is from the mat or the floor. You can also place a prop underneath your knee if you'd like that sort of support. Turn so that your torso is aimed directly in front of you. Inhale to reach your arms up overhead. Your foot is flexed. Then exhale, lean forward, keeping your back as straight as possible. And just when you start to feel like you really want to round forward, allow yourself to do that. Round forward, release your hands down, relax your foot, draw your chin in towards your chest, and breathe here. Slowly walk your hands back. Bring your torso up. Stretch your right leg out in front of you. What differences do you notice between your two legs? Anything? When you're ready, bend your left leg. Bring the sole of your left foot to the inside of your right thigh. Reach your arms up overhead. Right toes, right foot is flexed. Then as you exhale, lean forward. And then release down. Release your foot. Relax your leg. Draw your chin in towards your chest. Breathe and rest here. Check in with your shoulders. Are they creeping up towards your ears? If so, can you allow them to slide down, to glide down? Slowly walk yourself back. Torso comes up. Straighten your left leg in front of you. Now what differences do you notice between your two legs? Make your way onto your hands and your knees. Fingers are spread wide, shoulders are over your wrists, hips are over your knees, and your toes are uncurled. On your inhale, arch your spine, and as you exhale, round over to the right with your head and your hips and down. Then you'll inhale over to your left, and then back up through center. Continue with these cat-cow circles at your own pace. Really focusing your attention on your upper back as you do this. Change the direction of your circles. Come back to a neutral spine. Keep your hips high as you walk your hands forward and lower your forehead down to the mat. Allow your hips to track back just a bit to provide some counterbalance as you rest here in what is known as Anahatasana in Yin Yoga. Slowly come back up. Walk your hands back so that they are underneath your shoulders. Then walk your knees back. Bend your elbows to slowly lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Elbows are pointing behind you. Then slide your hands forward until your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. Fingertips are pointing forward and your chest is high. Breathe here in Sphinx. Noticing if you're clenching your glutes. If you are, how does it feel to relax them? Is there any other way you can make yourself more comfortable here? Look over your right shoulder. Look forward, then look over your left shoulder. Look forward. Slowly lower yourself all the way down. sliding your hands so that they are underneath your shoulders. Then press yourself up. Bring your big toes together, bring your knees out wide, and press yourself back to bring your hips back to meet your heels. For child's pose, lower your forehead down to the mat. You also have the option to place a prop underneath your forehead or between your hips and your heels. Slowly come back up. Shift your hips over to one side. Bring your legs out in front of you. Lie down, the center of your mat. Both knees are bent, and the soles of your feet are flat on the floor. Draw your right knee in towards your chest. Interlace your hands behind your thigh. You can also put a strap around your thigh if you'd prefer that. Straighten your leg as much as feels comfortable to you. Flex your foot. Then point your foot. Flex and point. Flex and point. Flex and point. Last time. Flex and point. Then make circles with your ankle, first in one direction. Then in the other direction. Be still. Breathe here. Release your hands down to the mat. Slowly lower your leg all the way down. What differences do you notice? What sensations do you notice in your right leg? Or maybe in other parts of your body? Bend your right leg. Draw your left knee in. Interlace your hands behind your left thigh, or use a strap or other prop behind your left thigh. Then straighten your left leg. Flex your left toes, your left foot. and then point and flex, point and flex, point and flex, point, flex. Last time, point. Then begin to make circles with your ankle. Then make circles in the other direction. And be still. Release your hands to the mat. Slowly lower your leg all the way down. Check in. What sensations are you experiencing in your left leg and in other parts of your body? Bend your left leg. You're going to have two options here. You can either come into a twist or come into reclining bound angle. I would encourage you to explore bound angle instead of the twist if for any reason a twist just isn't something that would be comfortable in your body today, or if you are currently stimming or have just recently had a transfer or have been encouraged by your provider to avoid any sort of twisting motion in your midsection. Otherwise, and I'll show you how to come into bound angle in just a moment. But everyone else, come with me into a twist. So lift your hips and shift them just a little bit to the left. Then drop your knees over to the right. And you can keep your hands down on the mat where they are, closer to your hips, or you can bring them out into a T, or you can bend your elbows, palms face up in a cactus-like position or a goalpost position. For those of you who are opting for bound angle today, from where you were, with your knees bent, bring the soles of your feet together and allow your knees to fall away from one another and down towards the mat. You can place your hands on your thighs, on your lower abdomen, one hand on your heart and the other on your lower abdomen, or you can keep your hands on the mat. For those of you in a twist, bring your knees back up through center. Lift your hips and shift them to the right. Lower them, and then lower your knees over to the left. If you're in a twist, bring your knees back up through center. If you are in bound angle, bring your knees together. Bring the soles of your feet onto the mat. Now that we're all here with the soles of our feet flat on the floor and our knees bent, let's roll over onto our sides. Slowly press up. And make our way over to our wall, chair, couch, or bed. Bring your hip as close as you can to that object. Then lie back on your elbows. Turn your hips and your legs so that you are pointing them towards the wall. And then lengthen your legs up the wall or onto your bed, couch, or chair. And if none of those are an option for you, you can place a cushion, pillow, or any other sort of prop underneath your hips and extend your legs up towards the sky. If your knees are not already bent, go ahead and bend them. If you're against the wall, place the soles of your feet against the wall. Roll over onto your side, removing any necessary props if you happen to be using any. Press yourself up. Come to a cross-legged seated position. Rest your hands on your knees or your thighs. Inhale to circle your arms up overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands come to the center of your chest. Thank yourself for taking a moment to breathe, to move, and to support yourself. And as always, I thank you for allowing me to guide you in this practice. Be well, and bye for now.